Hi and welcome back to my channel. My name is Erica. Today we're going to be making this adorable gingham quilt. In today's video, I'm going to be showing you how to make a baby size quilt just because it's a little bit easier to fit on camera for you, but the pattern comes with baby, twin, queen, and king size quilts, so you can make whatever size you want. As you can see behind me, I actually decided to make the largest one, so I had to film in my dining room today because this is the only wall I had big enough to put it all on. So here are the fabrics that I'm going to be using for my quilt. This is all by Sweetwater, and this is their Christmas card line, and so I chose this red print for my dark. I chose this kind of herringbone print, I think that's what, or houndstooth maybe, print for the light. And then for my backing, I actually chose this really cute kind of colorful print that they did, which I love. And I will show you the back of the quilt when we're all done as well, because I did a special little feature on the back just to make it more fun and interesting. And then for my plain white, I always use my standard Moda Bella Solid 9900-97. So those are my fabric choices for my quilt. Of course, you can make them in any color you like. You just need a dark print, a medium print, and then a light print, and then something for your backing and binding. So let's go ahead and get started. Here's what you're gonna need. So here are our supplies for this project. So you're going to need some backing fabric, of course, and I wanted to show you mine. And then you're also going to need some light, medium, and dark prints. Now I'm going to just do the baby quilt for this video. So that would be 1 yard of the dark, 1.5 yards of the medium, and then 3/4 of a yard of the light fabric. The pattern for this has information for baby, twin, queen, and king quilt sizes. So you'll just want to get whatever amount of fabric you need for the size quilt that you're going to be making. And then there's also a bonus pillowcase that we're going to be making in the next video. So don't get rid of any of your scraps. So these fabrics are all from Sweetwater. I think they're going to be really cute. So this is all we're going to need for our project today. Of course, you're going to want a ruler and a rotary trimmer and your sewing machine. Let's go ahead and get started. So we're going to need to cut some 5.5 inch strips from all of our fabric. So I'm going to go ahead and just open it up here. Okay, so I've just laid out my red or medium fabric, and we're gonna need to cut, I think, 9 strips of this medium fabric. And it's gonna be width of fabric, which basically means selvage edge to selvage edge. Okay, so the whole width of the fabric as it comes off the bolt, and it's gonna be 5.5 inches wide. Now, just to save myself some time, I have folded it in half so that I'm gonna be cutting 4 layers of fabric at once. And my edge over here is a little bit wonky, so I always do this when I'm cutting yardage, just because you don't know how straight the quilt shop cut it or wherever you got it from. So I'm just going to line my ruler up with one of these lines on the bottom, and then I'm just going to take off this left edge over here. And then that way I know I have a nice straight edge to start with. And then I'm going to take my ruler and I'm going to place my 5.5 inch line right here on this edge. I'm also lining up one of these bottom edges as well, just to make sure everything is nice and straight. And then I'm going to go ahead and cut. Now I need 9 strips, and I'm cutting 2 at a time because I folded my fabric in half. So that's 2. 4. 6. 8, and then I only need 1 more. I need 9. So I'm going to just open this up, so I'm only cutting 1 now. Okay, so there's 9. Now I do have some leftover, so I can just set that aside. And I bought some extra because I'm going to be making a little bit larger of a quilt. So that's it. So now you may notice that we left our selvage edges on, and it's actually going to be because we are going to be trimming this one more time. So I'm not even going to worry about my selvage edges right now. So I'm just going to get these out of the way, and then I'm going to cut my other fabrics. So I've just laid this down the same way, and then I already straightened out one of these edges here. So now I can just go ahead and cut 5.5 inches, and I need 4. So I just need to make 2 cuts here. Okay, so here's my 4 white strips, and I can set those aside, and then I just need to do my reds, the darker color. And this one I got a lot of extra of because I'm going to be making a larger quilt, and I'm going to be using it for some other stuff, including binding. So I got some extra, so you won't have quite this much fabric to contend with. And then it's already folded in 2 for me. Okay, so now we're gonna do 5.5. I need 5 strips of this this dark print. And then again, I'm cutting 2 layers at a time, so I'm just gonna flip this back and cut my 5th strip. Okay, so we have 5 dark, 4 light, and 9 medium, and we're ready to start assembling. Okay, now I've just separated them out, so I've got 5 mediums with my 4 whites, and then we're gonna need 4 mediums with our 5 reds. So I'm gonna go ahead and set this dark pile aside, and we're just gonna do this one first. So how we're gonna assemble these strips, and we're just gonna alternate the colors. So we're gonna do a medium, and then a light, and then a medium, and then a light, and then a medium, a light, a medium, a light, and I can't fit this other one on my screen, but there's gonna be one more medium over here on the left. So we're gonna have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 mediums and 4 whites. And we're just gonna sew them just like this. And when we're done, we're gonna actually cut them this way. And if I kind of show you with my ruler, this is the strip you're gonna end up with. So you're gonna have those kind of smaller squares, but we're gonna be strip piecing them, so it's just so much easier. So I'm just gonna take these over to my machine, and I'm probably just going to chain piece these. So also a medium and light, also 1, 2, 3, 4 sets of medium lights, and then also them together, and then I'll add that last medium print on the opposite edge. So here is our finished light strip, and I can't fit it probably all on my screen here, but I've got my red, my white, my red, my white, my red, my white, and then I'm ending with a red. Okay, so I'm gonna go ahead and set this aside, and we'll press them all at the same time. But just for future reference, we're gonna be pressing this entire project towards this medium print, even when we do our dark strip. So let's go ahead and just set this one aside. Okay, for this next set, this is going to be our dark strip set, and we're going to do the exact same thing, but instead of starting with our medium print, we're actually going to start with our dark print. So we're going to go dark, medium, dark, medium, dark, medium, dark, medium, and then I have one more dark strip that I'm going to finish it off with. You just can't see it off camera here, but we're going to start and stop with the dark prints on this one. We're going to do the exact same thing, just strip piece these all together. So here is my dark strips finished. So I'm starting and stopping with the darks again, and then I've got 4 of the lights. And I did go ahead and press it. So you saw that video, pressed everything towards my medium print. And I did that for my light and my dark strips. Next, we're going to trim our dark strips. We're going to trim them this way so that we end up with this nice kind of buffalo check print. So in order to do that, because my piece is quite large here, as you can see, it would be really hard for me to cut all the way across there. So I'm actually going to fold it in half, and I'm going to turn it this way so I can cut away from myself. Okay, everything looks nice and straight. That way we're going to be cutting nice straight strip rows. Now, because I obviously have my salvage edges over here, I do need to trim that off, and I'm just going to use some of the lines on my ruler and just line those up with this seam line right here, and then I'll try and find one down here, and I'm just going to go ahead and trim off this edge like that so that I have a nice straight edge to start with. And then I'm going to do the same thing I did when I was trimming my yardage, and I'm just going to place my ruler down with my 5.5 inch mark right on this edge. And as I go, this is going to probably start getting a little bit wonky, so I'm just going to try and make sure that my ruler is lined up with my seam lines. And so here we have one of our dark strip sets. So I'm going to go ahead and finish cutting my strip sets. For this baby quilt, we're going to cut 6 of these dark strip sets, and then we're going to cut 5 of our light strip sets. And you are going to have some extra, and you can save this for a pillow. Okay, so we have all these. We just need to repeat that with our light strip set. And again, I pressed our light ones towards the medium print, And if we press all of our strip sets towards the medium print, when we go to sew these rows together, they're gonna nest perfectly. Again, I'm just gonna line up this edge of my ruler down here and just trim off this edge that has the selvage on it. For the white strip set or the light strip set, we're gonna cut 5. So 1, 5, and again, you'll have some left over, so you can use this for a future project. Now comes the fun part. We're basically gonna just arrange this and sew these rows together now. So we're just gonna put them together just like this. We're just gonna sew all those rows together. And for this particular quilt, the baby quilt, we're gonna start and end with a dark strip set. And I'm gonna just show you a few little tips on sewing these rows together. So I'll go ahead and take my row, top row, and just place it right sides down on the bottom. And then everywhere that I have one of these seam junctions, I'm gonna go ahead and pin. Now, because we pressed going towards the medium print on both of our strip sets, these are gonna just nest together nicely. So nesting just means that if you can see, this seam's going to the right and this seam's going to the left. Those seams are just gonna flatten out and you're just gonna have a really nice crease right there, and you can just pin right at that seam. So whenever I am pinning sashing or longer strips of fabric like this where I'm having to line up these seams, I always start in the middle and then kind of work my way out to both edges. And I just feel like that really gives me, just allows me to kind of adjust everything a little bit better as I'm going. So now I have my whole strip set pinned and we're ready to go. And I've gone ahead and prepared my other strip sets as well, so I can just take these all over to the machine and sew them all at one time. And again, this entire project, I can't remember if I said when I was sewing these together, but you are going to want to sew everything with a 1/4 of an inch seam allowance for the entire project. And as long as you are consistent with your own self, with your own seams, everything should line up and nest perfectly, and you'll have a beautiful gingham quilt when you're done. And when I'm done, I'm not even going to press each row. I'm just going to go ahead and open up this row, and then I'll add the next row to it, and we'll just keep on going until our entire quilt top is pieced together. So let's go ahead and take these strips over to the machine. I have a few extra that you are not going to have because I'm making a larger quilt, but let's go take these over and get sewing. So that is it for my gingham quilt pattern. Hopefully you saw that it was super easy and fast to put together. Now I went a little crazy and decided to make one for our bed. This is the first quilt I've actually made for our bed, so I made the big one, and it took no time at all. It was super fast and easy to put together. Now I did mine using Christmas fabric, but I was thinking if you did this in solids with the reds, it would be really cute for 4th of July, or if you did blue, light blue, that would be awesome for 4th of July. And then my other favorite color combo is the gray, black, and white. And then the back side of this quilt is just really fun. I used this fabric that I showed at the beginning of the video. This is the Christmas card by Sweetwater again, and it's just so fun. And then I did have some leftover blocks. So I made just a 9-patch block that you see here using my leftover blocks. And then I'm also a member of their tagged subscription club. They're monthly tags that they send personalized with your information on them that you can add to any of your quilty projects. And so there you see that tag with my name on it. And then I also used an iron-on transfer label that I got from Sweetwater on top of it. So that's the Have Yourself a Merry Little Christmas. And I just sewed together my 9-patch, added those tags in, and then I went ahead and pieced the back. So I had to do a little bit of extra math. I added 2 side panels, and then I added the top panel and then the bottom panel to complete it off. And then I just kind of did my best to center it on the back side of the quilt. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to download your pattern in the description box below the video. Thanks so much for joining me today. If you enjoyed it, please make sure to thumbs up and subscribe. That really helps me out and lets me know to keep making fun videos for you guys. Thanks so much for joining me today, and I will see you in the next one. Hi, and welcome back to my channel. My name's Erica. Today we're... But the pattern actually has... But the pattern actually... Is someone trying to sneak down the stairs quietly? So that is it for my gingham. I can't talk. Okay. Oh, I'm still filming. I didn't even know what I was saying. So I hope you enjoyed today's video. Don't forget to download the pattern below the video here. I'll just in the... On, hello, blue. Okay. Making as well. Hi, Jaxie.